So there's a lot of American food that's actually banned in Europe. I'm a European. I can, testify for that. I've been around. But yes, let's find out why American food is actually banned in Europe. Let's go. Okay.
McDonald's operates in 118 countries. In the UK, their burger bun has about a dozen ingredients. But in the US, the same bun has over 25.
Okay, so there's a good comparison, very early start, because like a lot of American food is very much chemistry and not necessarily food, I would say. Like there's a lot of like chemicals and extra like ingredients put into that to make it like, more tasty, I guess, in a way, at the same time making it more, unhealthy.
And up until 2016, one of those ingredients was a dough conditioner that's also used to manufacture yoga mats and shoes.
Fantastic. So they added, so they had McMuffin with rubber. Nice.
And the CEO of McDonald's just went viral recently, eating one of these burgers on camera, calling it the product.
Oh yeah, that was a couple of months ago, actually, because this video is from 4 months ago. So yeah, that happened a couple of months ago. Yeah. Oh, actually quite a while ago, to be honest. But yeah.
Entire time. Not the burger, not the food, the product. And honestly, that might be the most accurate description of American food right now, because there are over 3,000 additives approved in the US.
That's actually insane. Like, imagine this. You have 3,000 pieces of chemicals that you can insert into pieces of food. By the way, for a moment, I got scared that my monitor is very dirty looking at this.
That are restricted or banned in other developed countries.
Yeah, that is very true. They are, like, quite often banned in... They are literally banned in most of Europe. Like, only a couple of additives that you can have in Europe. And even in most cases... When you have like products that are in like created in USA, when they go to Europe, they literally have to like recreate the formula, and the taste is completely different.
And every single one of them got there through a regulatory loophole that was created in 1958 and hasn't been meaningfully updated since. So
wait, what? Go back. I'm not comprehending right now. Okay.
That was created in 19.
So. You are using a legislation from the 50s, well, late 50s, okay, to identify what sort of ingredients are fine within the foods. That is actually crazy in a way, because it's like, we did progress quite a lot in the 70 years since then, or nearly 70 years since then. But like, imagine using a piece of legislation from this like, from ages ago. Man, you need to get your president to do something about that, or like Congress or something.
58 and hasn't been meaningfully updated since. So the question isn't whether these companies can make food without these chemicals. They make cleaner versions of the same products for every other country they sell in. The question is why they choose not to do it here.
Cheaper. It's pretty obvious. It's capitalism. It's American capitalism. The big word, American capitalism. It's basically cheaper for them to make it that way. Also, it's it's unhealthier. It's more addictive, probably. There are many reasons. It's probably like some of the chemicals that are like allowed are capable of creating much more dopamine in a way than like regular foods. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm 100% sure it's because it's cheaper.
To understand how this works, let's forget about the history for a second and just follow a product. Let's say a food company develops a brand new chemical, never been tested, never been reviewed, and they want it in a box of cereal by next month. Let's call it Compound X.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay,
Here's what happens. The company would hire a panel of scientists to review the safety data on Compound X. Many of these scientists have financial ties to the company paying them. And every single
I love this. This is just like the cigarettes all over again, basically.
Time they reach the same conclusion. Compound X is generally recognized as safe. Or
wow, it's safe. No way. Nobody got paid like a gazillion of dollars just to say it's actually safe. You can eat it. You'll be fine. It actually has health benefits. Yeah, sure.
GRAS. That GRAS label is so important because it's basically a golden ticket. Any ingredient that gets classified as GRAS is completely exempt from the FDA's normal approval process. No safety review, no testing requirements, no waiting period. It's skipped.
That's actually insane. So you just get a stamp, boom. You can literally say, oh yeah, it can go forward into like food, and you can literally just pay for that. Like you can literally like create a food item that will give people cancer just by literally like giving money to scientists. Okay, that's actually insane. That sounds actually insane. Like that's straight out of conspiracy theories and stuff, straight out of sci-fi.
The entire line.
What we have seen over time is that companies are creating new ingredients, having their own scientists or hiring outside scientists to make their own determinations that an ingredient is safe. And then once they self-declare that their ingredient is safe, they don't have to go through that pre-market process.
The FDA created this designation in 1958.
Yeah.
And it was originally...
I think you need to cancel that. I mean, sure, a lot of scientists will lose their jobs. I'm pretty confident Donald Trump doesn't care about scientists. Yeah, I'm pretty confident about that, so yeah, I think he might actually will do something good for US to just say, cancel the whole privatized process of this.
Meant to cover things like salt, vinegar, and baking soda, stuff nobody needed to test because humans had been eating it for centuries.
Yeah.
But by the 1990s, the FDA had a problem. You see, as food became more and more industrialized, hundreds of companies were submitting applications to try to get that golden ticket for the new ingredients they were using. And the agency didn't have the budget or the staff to review them all. The backlog was so long that it would take years to clear. So in 1990s,
okay, so that makes sense because they didn't have enough staff to do it, so they privatized the sector so it would be easier. But okay, but wouldn't it be like better to have privatized process than get it like reviewed again? Like you could go a regular route if you don't have the money, or you're gonna go the private route until you get to a certain stage where FDA actually takes over and tests whatever the hell is out, and then you get fined if you lied, basically. That would probably be better in a way, maybe. I'm not sure. Somebody from like America that deals with like food and stuff might say, "Oh yeah, actually that doesn't make any sense because blah 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 blah." Or actually that might be a smart idea. We might need to do that. I don't know. I'm not American. I'm European.
1997, under pressure from the Clinton administration's push to cut costs and speed up federal agencies, the FDA made a decision that changed everything.
There was an announcement today by the Food and Drug Administration. Bettina Gregory has the story.
Instead of requiring companies to submit their safety data for review, they made the whole process voluntary. That means the company doesn't have to submit its determination to the FDA. It doesn't have to share the safety data. It doesn't even have to tell the FDA that compound X exists.
That's crazy. That actually sounds crazy because like they didn't even have to say, like they didn't even have to give samples to FDA. Like I think there should be like multi-way process. Like, okay, so the company makes a product, okay, that's fine. But at the same time, they should send it to FDA, and in like 5 years' time, just FDA is like, we have an announcement. Company X actually added component X to the product Y, which results in diarrhea. Often cases of diarrhea. On top of that, it causes you to get fat. Because it condenses the fats even more. On top of that, it reduces the amount of water your body needs somehow. We don't know. As such, we're gonna need to find a company X because of this. Yes. Imagine though. Imagine, like that would be. I would say that would be significantly better than whatever the hell is going on right now, probably for you guys,
They can just start putting it in food and shipping it to stores. Think about that for a second. That's like a student grading their own exam and the teacher saying,
"Oh, my favorite part of everything, self-graded exams." Have you ever done that in school, by the way? we did do that like on like papers that are not really important. Like the teacher would say, actually, so for the first question you had to do this, that, and you should get this answer. Did everybody get the answer? And people were like, yeah, surely.
You don't even have to show me the test. I'll just take your word for it. And this isn't a hypothetical edge case. According to a 2022 analysis, companies have used the system to self-approve nearly 99% of new food chemicals.
I mean, that makes sense because, okay, hear me out. If you can get a thing going and you know it's going to have positive effect for your sales, you're gonna get it going. Like, nobody cares, basically. You're just gonna do it.
Since the year 2000. The Pew Research Center estimated in 2013 that roughly 1,000 ingredients had entered the food supply through this pathway without the FDA even knowing about them. The FDA's own former deputy commissioner for food admitted in 2014 that we simply do not have the information to vouch for the safety of many of these chemicals. So the system that was designed in 1958 to exempt salt and vinegar from paperwork is now the primary pathway that the entire food industry uses to put new chemicals into your food without any oversight. And this is where you start to see why the same food tastes different depending on which country you buy it in.
Yeah, and that's a reminder that you cannot have Kinder eggs in USA. Okay, in the UK, you obviously can have them. Yeah, Kinder eggs, great thing. You can't have it in the USA apparently because it's a danger for children.
Take a mac and cheese from Kraft, for example. For decades, the US version got its color from something called Yellow 5 and Yellow 6.
Yeah, I heard of those.
They are synthetic dyes derived from petroleum. But the UK version used something way healthier. They use paprika extract and beta carotene.
Bro. But it doesn't have the yellow color that regular mac and cheese has, you know? I bet someone's going to say, but it doesn't look the same. It doesn't look the same. But it probably tastes much better, much healthier as well. Like, what, paprika extract? What's that gonna do to you? Nothing. It's paprika. Beta carotene. What's that gonna do? Nothing. Actually, it has positive benefits because it helps with your eyesight, apparently. You can find the beta carotene in carrots, by the way. Yeah.
Which is an orange pigment naturally found in carrots. Not because Kraft can't make it without the artificial dyes.
No, they can. The artificial dyes are just cheaper. And they require less processing. Literally, probably. Maybe. I hope so, at least.
In the UK. It's because in Europe, Yellow 5 and Yellow 6 dyes requires a mandatory warning label that
it does.
reads may have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children. Rather than
this product may cause the children to get fat and potentially gain mental disability. That's what I'm reading here. I love that it's like worded in such a way that it's like, oh yes, it may affect activity and attention in children, and it's just like, no, in reality, what it means, it's going to cause your child to get fat, and may affect their mental capabilities as well. Yes.
putting a warning on the box, Kraft just formulated for the European market. But in the US, no warning is required, so the artificial version stays on the shelf. Another good example is the popular drink Mountain Dew. It contains brominated vegetable oil in America, a pretty bad oil for your heart, but not in Europe or Japan because they're banned in those countries. Bread products.
Hey, oi, pause. I want to know what we have instead of that in Europe. Also, by the way, fun fact, in the UK and in like Europe continental, Mountain Dew tastes different. That's a fun fact from me. The one in the UK tastes slightly better than the one in Europe, by the way. That's just my point here, you know? I had both. Actually, very recently, I had one from like, the one in Poland. Like, I didn't go out of my way to buy Mountain Dew. I buy it like very rarely, and I was like, it tastes different. It doesn't taste like the one I had in the UK a couple of years back. What was that? Slightly less citrusy. Yeah, that was actually a couple of days ago. Or actually, a couple of weeks ago, to be honest, at this point. Yeah.
Dozens of American brands contain potassium bromate.
Okay, potassium is fine. Potassium is fine. What is bromate? What's bromate, by the way? Does anybody know? I have no idea.
A dose strengthener banned in Canada, the UK, the EU, China, and Brazil.
Mate. If it's banned in China, China of all places, and Brazil, like, I can understand it's banned in Canada, UK, EU, right? They regulate quite everything, pretty much. But banned in China and Brazil, that means it's very bad for you. Like, I can think of, like, so many things that would go through in China that are probably not really healthy. And if this is banned, then it's very bad. I just have to say that, you know?
Because research linked it to kidney damage and cancer in animal studies.
Okay, but that's animal studies. So I mean, okay, just because animals get like kidney damage and, I mean, actually no. It would link to kidney damage in humans as well, because kidneys in animals and humans tend to work similarly in a way. Like, it's made out of literally the same types of cells, basically. So it doesn't really affect, like, whether it's animal or human. So I would say it does. It probably would cause kidney damage in humans as well. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
California banned it in 2023, but at the federal level, it's still approved, which means a chemical that most of the developed world considers unsafe is sitting in the bread aisle of grocery stores in 46.
That's actually crazy. It's actually crazy that you can literally like buy chemical bread in the USA. Like, what? Can't you make regular bread with, like, you know, 4 ingredients basically?
Out of 50 American states. None of these companies are being forced to use these ingredients. They're making a financial calculation that using cheaper inputs in the American market is worth it because the regulatory system doesn't.
Well, yeah, they don't get fined for it. Like, literally, just because, like, they could be causing so many health issues for so many people because they don't have to pay for it. Literally, the people in America have to pay for it. Like, okay, if you want to get free healthcare in America, you probably need a bit of, like, you know, mix of privatized and free, but, like, whatever. If you want to get free healthcare in America, what do? You get FDA sorted out. You get them to fine the companies that use, they sort out whatever the hell chemicals are bad, basically, over, like, maybe the next couple of years, pretty much, at a, like, super fast speed, right? Then they fine every company a lot of money, a lot of money, right? So the money goes from the companies to America, right? And then America, whoever the hell deals with healthcare department, if you have one, is going to invest that into creating potentially, or in buying off hospitals, like private hospitals, and turning them into, like, a public ones, right? And that's how you get, like, to some extent public healthcare. Oh, and just so you don't, like, end up with, like, you know, situation where the hospitals are overrun with people. You have only old people and poor people that were born in the United States be able to use them. People that are, like, you know, somewhat rich, no, they go private. People that, like, are decently well off, they should go private as well. But people that cannot afford that stuff, they can go to the public ones in, like, big cities if they can get to the big city before, like, you know, basically kicking the bucket, you know. A master plan over here, you know. A master plan. Okay, let's continue.
Penalize them for doing so. The US operates on an innocent until proven guilty standard, where an ingredient is assumed safe until enough evidence accumulates over years or decades to prove it's harmful. Europe uses the precautionary principle, which flips the logic. If there is uncertainty, a new ingredient doesn't get approved until the manufacturer can scientifically
Yeah. That's how EU works, pretty much. Guilty until proven innocent.
Prove it's safe. And America hasn't switched to the European model for one straightforward reason.
Money.
Both sides benefit from keeping it the way it is. For the FDA, reviewing every new additives would take years per ingredient and require a budget that they don't have. For the food companies, it's even simpler. Why spend millions on independent safety testing and wait 2 years for FDA approval when you can pay a fraction of that to certify food safety yourself? Back in 2010, when one company was questioned by the FDA about the safety of an ingredient called theobromine, they simply withdrew.
When I see bromine in anything, I think of radiation. I think of like, I think of thermometers. I think of like brownish color as well. I don't know if like anybody with like chemistry degree, am I thinking of the correct thing right now? Because like, whenever I think of like bromine, I'm like, yeah, brown liquidy thing used for thermometers sometimes. Don't drink because you're gonna die. Oh, quite radioactive as well. Also, don't get your hands stained with it. It's very hard to like, get it removed, basically.
Voluntary notification, hired an independent contractor to declare it safe anyway, and kept using it. The FDA had no mechanism to stop them. The agency can't afford to enforce stricter rules, and the industry has no financial reason to follow them. That's how a loophole stays open for almost 7 decades. The GRAS loophole is basically a multi-billion-dollar subsidy for whoever can exploit it most creatively.
Okay.
And the companies exploiting it the best are the ones you've never heard of.
So apparently Coca-Cola is fine. Pepsi is also fine. So we are fine, everybody. People that drink Coke Zero are fine. People that drink like Pepsi Max are fine. It's good. So, wait, doesn't that mean then it's like, okay, pause. My brain just started working because like those are like brand products basically. I'm saying. So we're gonna be thinking about products that are like very cheap, low end. Nobody knows about them. Basically, all of the products that like poor people buy. Man, I feel bad for poor people in America.
Go to your kitchen right now and pick up the first packaged food you see. Could be a bag of Doritos, a can of Coca-Cola, a cup of yogurt, or a box of Cheerio. Flip it over and look at the ingredient list. Somewhere on there, you are almost guaranteed to see 2 words: natural flavors.
Natural flavors, bro. It's made out of natural things. Yes.
That phrase is doing a lot of work because in most cases, the formulation behind...
I mean, uranium is found in nature. Mercury is found in nature. What else is there that you shouldn't eat? Zinc you can eat, technically speaking. What's like a... osmium, lead. Oh, there we go. Lead is found in nature.
Those 2 words wasn't created by the brand on the front of the box. There are 3 major firms that engineer the flavors in almost everything Americans eat. The food brands hire them the way a restaurant hires a chef, except these chefs serve 300 million people and nobody knows their name. The biggest is a Swiss company called Givaudan. The second is an American company called IFF, which stands for International Flavors and Fragrance.
IFF sounds iffy. I wonder if he's going to like go on the rant about IFF.
And the third is another Swiss firm called Firmenich.
Why are there so many Swiss firms? Do they have like a huge what was it, gastronomical science departments in like Switzerland? Oh, I nearly said Sweden. Switzerland, right? Think. I mean, they are known for scientists, so maybe. I'm not sure.
Together, they control over 55% of a market worth over $40 billion a year.
That's actually insane. 3 companies are owning 55% of a market. Like, if they owned like 70%, I would say that that's a tripoly kind of thing. Because, like, monopoly, 1, 3, tripoly, 3. Also, Tripoli, a place.
alone holds
That's also a
roughly a
place.
quarter of the global market and offers over 2,200 different strawberry flavors in
Pardon me. So many strawberries, bro. I wonder if there's like a guy that is like, oh yes, I'm gonna taste all of the flavors of strawberry. I wonder which one. Okay, I'm pretty confident that one of those companies created the artificial flavor of banana. Do you know banana, right? So most of the products that use bananas, like quote unquote, are flavored after bananas, right? They tend to use artificial banana flavor, which is like, in theory, is meant to taste like a banana that no longer exists, but in practice, it tastes like something that isn't even a banana, basically. But it tastes very good. There you go. Like, if we're talking about flavors, that's like the first thing that comes to my mind.
this category. Not 22, not 220, over 2,200 variations of a single fruit flavor, each one optimized for a different product and a different consumer base. IFF purchases roughly 8,500 raw materials from 2,300 suppliers worldwide,
Okay, yeah, that's fine, I think.
blending them into proprietary compounds that get licensed to the brands you see on the shelf. And every single one of
Oh, okay. Okay. I think I know where he's going, but I'm not 100% sure.
those formulations is legally classified as a trade secret. So when you read natural flavors on the label, you're looking at a formula that could contain dozens of individual
Okay. So it's a mix. It's just a mix of like things, okay.
chemical compounds, solvents, and preservatives, none of which have been disclosed because trade secret law overrides ingredient transparency laws in the US.
Yeah.
And here's why the secrecy matters so much to them. These formulations aren't just about making food taste good, they're engineered to make you eat more.
See, told you. Told you it's made for you to be addicted to it.
Food scientists call it the bliss point, the precise combination of sugar, salt, and fat that triggers the strongest craving response without ever making you feel fully satisfied. It's why you can eat an entire bag of chips without feeling full, the same way you would after a home-cooked meal. Your body isn't registering food the same.
Pardon me, gentlemen and ladies, if there are any ladies. I don't get like full after eating like let's say whole regular meal, you know, at home. I never do, but I get like full from eating half a pack of like chips maybe sometimes.
Same way.
But that might be because I always like make little less than enough for me to like, you know, be satisfied with my dinner, for example, like my breakfast. I don't know.
Because the formulation was specifically designed to bypass your satiety signal, the part of your brain that's supposed to tell you, okay, you're full, stop eating. And the bliss point isn't a general target. It's calculated down to the milligram for each individual product.
That's actually insane. Like, that is some crazy sorcery and alchemy going on here, you know?
Researchers have found that there is a specific concentration of sugar where the craving response peaks. And if you go even slightly above that concentration, the product starts to taste too sweet, and people would eat less of it. So the flavor company aren't just making food taste good, they're finding the exact mathematical ceiling of how much.
Honestly, if he's not going to say it's money, I'm gonna be disappointed because like my thesis here is says okay, American companies use chemicals because they want to create cheaper products so they could be bought en masse, and on top of that they could be creating higher profits. But apparently over here it's more like American companies use chemicals to create more addicting products to increase the profits. So it's slightly different, but still money.
Pressure your brain can process before it tells you to stop. And then they're parking the formula right below that line. That's why you reach the bottom of the bag and think, I didn't even realize I was still eating. That was the design working as intended. And the reason these companies guard these calculations so aggressively is because getting the bliss point right on a single product can be worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, yeah. If you get the bliss point on, let's say, like a drink somehow, I don't think it works on drinks actually. Okay, let's say candy bar. Let's say chocolate bar maybe, or something like that. You know, granola bar, something like that. if you get this point on that, a person won't buy one bar. They will buy 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. And then they might be like, actually, this tastes good. Next time I'm going to buy 10. And that's how you make money.
Annual sales. Ultra-processed foods built on these formulations now make up nearly 60% of the average American adults.
Wait, mean percentage of total calories from ultra-processed foods consumed by youth and adults by sex. Men eat more. Except maybe... I like that there's like 0.1% difference here, basically. But yeah, men eat 1% more.
Diet. And the number has been climbing up for decades. And studies are now linking high ultra-processed food consumption to increased rates of obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline.
Okay.
But the FDA has no regulatory category for ultra-processed. This means the fastest growing segment of the American diet exists in a complete regulatory blind spot.
I think you need to figure this thing out, honestly. That sounds scary to me. Like, if European Union decided, oh yeah, we're gonna throw all of the food regulation out the window, I think I would be literally eating food from, like, I would literally go to like my friends who is a farmer and would be like, mate, you have cows, sheep, and chickens. I'm gonna, like, whenever you're gonna need to like kill a chicken or something, gimme, I'm gonna buy it off of you, right? Oh, and eggs, by the way, as well. Yes. And another friend has a whole wheat farm on here. Like, maybe he's not dealing with processing the wheat, but like, if you know someone that does processing the wheat, then that's how you get flour, and then you get bread from that, And also, I know some people that have like a whole corn farms, and then I have no people that have like literally tiny gardens in the backyard that like have like things like vegetables, carrots, potatoes. Not really much potatoes, but mostly carrots, beetroot, so many things like that. Cucumber, tomato. I don't eat tomato. I like tomato, but yeah, tomato, for example. I would be scared of eating anything out of like the shops. Basically, I would literally be funding my friends pretty much like half of the time at that point.
But the good news is that the FDA was directed in 2025 to explore closing the GRAS self-affirmation loophole.
Okay, so that's good. That sounds like a good progress I'm hearing from this guy here. Yeah.
But the rulemaking usually takes years, and food industry will lobby against any changes that...
I mean, obviously, any industry would lobby against any changes that will majorly affect the sales and money making, basically. Like, it happens in Europe as well. It actually does happen in Europe quite often, to be honest, if you think about it.
Increase their costs, and thousands of FDA scientists were fired in April 2025 due to cost-cutting measures. It means the agency now has even fewer resources to enforce the rules it already has. If you want to protect yourself today, here's something you can do the next time you're at the grocery store. Before you put something in your cart, flip it over and count ingredients. If the list has more than 5 ingredients, you can.
Does this orange have more than 5 ingredients, chat? What do you think? Yes or no?
Pronounce or wouldn't find in home kitchen, just put it back. If natural flavors...
Okay, what do we have here? Cornmeal, no idea. Rice flour, yes. Sunflower oil, yes. And or expeller pressed canola oil. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, sunflower oil and canola oil are fine in my opinion. Cheddar cheese, so that's fine. Salt, enzymes, yes. Whey, no idea what that is. Buttermilk, okay. Salt, natural flavor, that's no good. Sea salt, lactic acid, yep. Citric acid, yep. Organic black pepper, yep, that's fine. Contains milk, that's fine. So, only thing that I don't know from this list is cornmeal, natural flavor, because that's like a bunch of chemicals. Oh, and there's regular salt as well. And whey. I don't know what whey is.
Appear in the first 5 ingredients.
Go back.
Home kitchen, just put it back. If natural flavors appear in the first 5...
Fuck. God damn it. I didn't want to swear in this video. Apparently I did. I couldn't pause.
Ingredients. The product is more engineered than you think. And if you really want to know whether what you're buying is safe, check if the same product exists in a European version.
Oh yeah, the European version.
If the European label is shorter, you know that the American version contains things that at least one developed countries decided weren't worth the risk. I'm curious to know what you think about ultra-processed food, and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
My thoughts on ultra-processed food? Yeah, very no good. My thoughts on this video though. That was an amazing video, honestly. That was an amazing video. But yes, if you enjoyed me reacting to this video, leave a like, comment down below, tell me what you thought. If you enjoyed the video itself, you can check out the link to the video in the description, right? And you should also leave the like and actually, like, you know, sit down, watch the video yourself, create your thoughts, I don't know. Well, yes, thank you for watching, see you another time, and goodbye.